Digital migration agent from Aussizz Group in Collins. First of all, thanks for joining. We'll wait a couple more minutes before we can have more people joining us in this session. This session is going to be about engineering occupations. We are going to focus more about engineering occupations, more focusing on what are the best PR pathways, what are the skill assessment processes for those particular occupations. So if you are or your friends or relatives wants to have more information in regards to their engineering occupations, you can stay on with the session. Now, when it comes to any other topic, you can of course leave us a message. Of course, go ahead and start typing in your questions. But if we believe that the question is not relevant to the topic, we might get back to you. So moving forward, guys, first of all, my name is Kamaljeet Singh. I'm a registered migration agent with Aussizz Group. And first of all, I'll be sharing my screen with you guys in regards to understanding how this engineering occupation works, and what are the PR pathways, how's the skill assessment being done, and moreover, we'll be also be discussing, prior to this financial year, what were the requirements of the state. Again, those requirements are basically not valid at this particular stage, but we will be at least having an prediction that what they might be coming up with the changes soon. Okay. All right, guide. So first of all, engineering occupations, we have seen, just give me 1 second, guys, because we have to get a permission for sharing my screen. Guys, texting me on TikTok. I'll definitely answer your questions as we are heading towards this session. People who are, texting us on Facebook and other social media pages as well, I'll be trying my very best to answer all those kind of questions. One of the users is saying he's got some course issues. I'll probably advise you to come and visit us in person to understand that what would be the best sort of requirements in our case. Right. So I'll quickly share my screen, guys. Then we will go on and start understanding the requirements of PR pathways for engineering sector. Okay, guys, let's move on to engineering occupations and their PR pathways. Most of the candidates we have seen, especially who are sitting in Victoria, that candidates who are not in health sector, who are not in IT sector, third occupation which we always advise people is engineering occupations. So let's moving on. Engineers Australia is your designated authority for skill assessment, guys. So for PR pathways, guys, you must obtain a migration skill assessment, which is a full skill assessment, not a provisional one, for the general skill migration category or employer sponsor category. When it comes to your assessing authority, Engineers Australia is your designated authority for assessing skills and other sort of employment assessments when it comes to getting the skill assessment for migration purpose. Again, there are processes which Engineers Australia have to follow. The processes are, number one, they can provide you with the professional engineering skill assessment. Number two, they can provide you with the engineering technologist sort of skill assessment, which is more into technical bit of the getting the skill assessment in regards to that occupation. Number three, we have got engineering associates when it comes to draft persons and all those kind of occupations, and engineering managers. So these are all four sort of categories, I can say, a candidate can obtain their skill assessment in these particular occupations. Guys, while you are going through this session, I can see already people are posting their comments on TikTok. People have started posting their comments on other social media platforms. Let me quickly finish this session first for the introduction session for engineering, and then I'll slowly go on to start answering your questions. So first of all, understand the skill assessment. What is a skill assessment? Skill assessment for migration purpose is a piece of documentation and requirement which meets the skill assessment requirement for that particular visa. So if you are that type of a candidate who is going on to lodging 189, 190, 491 or employer sponsor 186 visa, and we are not talking under TRT stream, we are talking direct entry, may require or must require to provide the department with the skilled occupation must obtain a skill assessment. Now, there are two pathways basically when it comes to obtaining a skill assessment. First of all, is accredited qualifications. Now, these are those qualifications basically which are proved by Engineers Australia. And once you have been accredited through that particular qualification, you can go ahead and submit your skill assessment applications with the authority to obtain the positive skill assessment. The another pathway is non-accredited qualifications. Now, when it comes to non-accredited qualifications, guys, basically those are those qualifications which do not come under the list of Engineers Australia. And in that case, we might have to go through a CDR pathways. Most of our engineering candidates would already be aware what a CDR pathway means. Normally, in easy language, CDR pathway is basically a pathway where a candidate will come and submit their projects report to the assessor of Engineers Australia, explaining them and trying to convince them that you do believe that kind of a knowledge of that particular professional occupation or a technologist occupation. You have to submit your career episodes, your summary statement, and CPD statements that you have been in touch with that particular occupation. So these are two types of pathways. Number one, accredited pathway. Number two, non-accredited pathway. For accredited pathways, you do not require any kind of reports to be submitted. For non-accredited, we do require the process, or you can say how we can check the eligibility, whether we are under this process. There's a link on the website of Engineers Australia, or you can visit our registered migration agents near office of Aussizz, and they can help you with your skill assessment. Let's discuss about accredited pathway first. If you have got an Australian qualification which is accredited by Engineers Australia, have an accreditation qualification issued by from a country under Dublin, Sydney, or Washington Accord, you're eligible for accredited pathway skill assessment. Number two, your identification documents such as passport must be valid. You should provide the document in a manner which is suitable for the assessor to read the details and make their assessments. Number three, you must provide them with their degree certificate, your academic transcript, your CV, passport size photograph, and English requirement, where minimum 16 each is required in last 2 years. Now, when it comes to English, there is an exemption. If you have completed, duration of that study in Australia, you are exempt for getting, like 2 years of study requirement will give you a waiver of English. If not, then you go on and start doing your IELTS examination, PT, or relevant, examination, which is minimum 16 which is required. So, frankly speaking, number one, if your qualification is accredited, you should go on and submit your application without any CDR report. If your if your qualification non-accreditation, then we might have to go through CDR pathway. Thanks, Preet Gill. You have sent us roses. Thanks for your sweet compliments. We will be coming back onto the comments once I've gone through the normal basic criteria for Engineers Australia. I'll try my very best to answer each and every single question of people who will be posting their comments and asking their questions. We do always recommend candidates that do not provide any kind of personal information while we are live on social media, for privacy reasons, and it's better for you guys. Yes. Okay. Now comes the third one is CDR pathways. It's basically a pathway where applicant has to provide three sort of career episodes, that what kind of projects what kind of activities he has taken in that projects. Those CDR pathways are pretty much explaining the assessor that okay, I do believe that I have got that knowledge of that particular occupation. It comes to engineering occupations, there are all different sort of occupations, but your projects must be meeting your qualification. So if you, for example, if you have studied bachelor's in chemical or mechanical engineering, you can't go ahead and start submitting your application for electrical engineering. CDR do come with a requirement, which is number one, you must meet a word limit, because they do not want people with big sort of CDR reports. Requirement is 1,000 to 2,500 words. You must be spot on. The best thing tip for people who are watching this session live, we can advise here is that if you are that type of a candidate who wants to go through a CDR pathway, we should not be using a word called we. they are more focused on a word called I. So what I have done in that project, all those sort of writing pattern must be very specific, or else, you might not be found competent to meet that CDR requirement. Associate degree or associate diplomas. Now, those pathways for the qualifications where minimum bachelor's is required, these are, advanced diploma of civil construction design and information technology is more focusing on, occupation which are, accredited Australian qualifications with the, Engineers Australia. Again, guys, thanks for your questions. I'll slowly come back to your questions while I finish this, introduction session for Engineers Australia. I'm just trying to educate, candidates onto what is the requirement for engineers, and then slowly I'll start discussing the questions. Employment assessment is basically for those people who will be basically, working in their nominated occupation and trying to obtain points, extra 5-10 points, given that, how much work experience you are obtaining or you have obtained, whether in Australia or outside Australia for migration purpose. So again, employment assessment can be also done by Engineers Australia. It's always a good way. We are not saying it's a mandatory sort of pathways, but there are some kind of requirements. In some cases, we have seen states do require a candidate to go through a skill assessment process for employment purpose for claiming points, which is, for example, New South Wales. Steps in preparing CDRs. We won't be discussing too much onto that because it's, all the categories and the information, agents can educate you onto that. Number 1, personal documentations. And number 2, you must nominate an occupation. Number 3, provide them the documentation, your employment and your CDR documentations. So this is basically the step for engineering, skill assessment for CDR pathways. Again, guys, if you have joined right now on TikTok, I'll be answering your questions, once I finish the introductory sessions for engineers, and yeah, then hopefully, we can go from there. All right, now, while we are going into engineering skill assessment, the worst thing we can, suggest you in regards to your skill assessment, we do not want to happen with any of our clients is that you must, make sure that when you are submitting work to Engineers Australia, you have to do certain checks, and you must make sure that it is your own work. We have seen candidates, getting banned for, like 12 months to more when it comes to if the assessor comes and find out, that particular work was basically, copy pasted, or you might have stolen some kind of reports, or the pattern is matching someone else. So Engineers Australia is very strict. So I'll probably advise you when you're going through this pathway, do your research, try and understand what is this pathway, as we are talking about CDR pathway, and so that we are not facing any frustration in future. All right, these are some of the occupations, guys. Engineering manager, mechanical, chemical, material, civil, geostructure, transport, electrical, production, telecommunication, network planner. We are seeing, people have started recently doing all these advanced diplomas and stuff when it comes to telecommunication engineering as well, civil engineering draft person as well. So these are some of those occupations which engineering sector we are seeing candidates doing. The other occupations, like when it comes to naval architect, biomedical engineers, agricultural engineers, aeronautical engineers, we are not seeing that many candidates and not that many invites. But still, if you are that type of a candidate who has done minimum bachelor's in those kind of qualifications, we advise you to go and grab your skill assessment done. For permanent residency pathways, we'll be discussing about general skill migration visas first. There are 3 types of visas: 189, 190, and 491. 65 points is minimum requirement for all of these visas. If you are lagging points of 65, you must, try an options for 190 and 491, because for 190 state gives you 5 points, and for 491 state gives you 15 points. Again, guys, we are seeing that you are bombarding us with all these comments on TikTok. I'll try my very best to answer those. Let me quickly go through this session of, educating you on in regards to what is the minimum eligibility for skill assessment, which we've already discussed. And now what are the requirements to go ahead and start submitting a general skill migration visa. So at the moment, we haven't seen any change with the point system. We are expecting there might be changes coming up soon. Because we are seeing that states are waiting upon department to give us an update when to open all the states and set up the requirements. So coming to skill assessment, it's required. Full assessment means full migration skill assessment must not be for provisional, assessment, not for 485. It must be a full skill assessment when we are applying for 189, 190, and 491. 189 and 491 are all both permanent visas. 491 is a leading pathway to permanent residency. 5 years of visa is granted. You must live, work, or study in regional, if you are holding 491 visa. Coming on to how are the points calculated, depending on your age, you will be given maximum points from 25 to 32, and then depending upon whether we are moving forward or backwards, your points start decreasing from 25 to 15. And 45 age is the basically the barrier. You must be under 45 if you are looking to apply for permanent residency under general skill migration visas. Moving on to English will give you minimum requirement for all these visas is 16 each. If you want to go ahead and submit your applications, minimum 16 each in English is required. 7 in each will give you 10 points. Severe English 8 in each will give you 20 points. So basically the minimum eligibility doesn't give us that many points, it gives us 0 points. But yes, meeting the eligibility is one thing, gathering the points is different. So we always advise candidates to at least try and gather 7 each. Skilled employment in Australia, outside Australia, depending upon where you are, is totally different. For 1 to 3 years, 5 points are given, basically for offshore. And when it comes to outside Australia, you are given 5 points only if you have got 3 years of work experience. When it comes to in Australia, this is more beneficial. So we always advise candidates who are working in their nominal occupation to keep working, because in future you're going to be getting more points. Okay. In regards to state nomination, guys, let me introduce you a little bit about what is state nomination. So state nomination visas are 190 visas, basically where you will see candidates that who are not getting invitations for 189. They can go ahead and start submitting their applications, IUIs and RYs for 190 and 491, because those are state nominated visas. When it comes to 190, state provides us at least 5 points, and for 491 state provides us 15 points. I have mentioned earlier, the requirement which you are seeing right now on your screen is basically a requirement prior to this financial year. So again, what we will advise you is that whatever state you are sitting in, let's sit in that particular state, because we are planning, or we are predicting, not planning, that there would be a big sort of rounds coming soon, big sort of invitations being given to the candidates in different kind of states, because the number of seats which were allocated last year are matching to the number of seats which are allocated to this year. If you guys are in Victoria, 7th of July, Victoria's website was updated that they are also still waiting on the state to see what kind of basically requirements the state's going to come upon with, and we are expecting Victoria to be open up soon and start giving invitations. If you guys are in health sector, I'll also advise you to start submitting your EUIs for 189, because we haven't seen any invitation round being happening this financial year. 482 is one of those visas as well, guys, which you can apply. 2 years of minimum work experience, you can go ahead and start submitting your employer sponsored visas as well. Okay. So this was basically a small introductory session, guys. Understanding basically engineering skill assessment pathways, PR pathways. Now I'll be basically stopping my screen share, and we'll be going back on to discussing your questions. So first of all, guys, thanks for sending us love. I've seen so many people are sending love and roses while we are doing this live session on TikTok. We are live on other platforms as well. If you guys got any questions, our marketing team is already typing a lot many questions. I'll try my very best to start basically educating you on that, and trying my very best to give you a proper answer. Okay, first question we have got is from Diljit Singh Kaur. When will be the next round for 491? So Diljit Singh Kaur, as I mentioned earlier, that we are expecting the round to be happening soon, but still we are waiting from the department to inform the states about the when they're going to be opening up. So we are expecting those rounds to be happening soon, but again the states will open up they may or they may not, give us a new requirement. Depending upon if the requirement stays the same, ROIs will be in effect. If the department changes, the requirements, we might have to submit our new ROIs. Okay. Adil Shahjad says, I've done associate diploma of civil technology from Pakistan. What is the pathway for me? As I've mentioned you, for CDR pathways, minimum bachelor's qualification is required. So I'll probably advise you, if you are planning to study bachelor's in your home country, that would be a good option. Or else we might have to choose some other occupations, in regards to PR pathways. Preet Gill is saying, can I apply dependent visa of my partner? I am on a student visa now. So basically, I believe, Preet Gill, your question there is that, okay, if I'm on a student, can I apply for my partner's dependent, which is a subsequent enrolled? Yes, we always advise, that if you've done some kind of a study, at least 1 year or so, you can go ahead and, start submitting, but you must keep that thing in criteria, in your mind that there is a criteria called genuine temporary entrant criteria. So if you are not meeting that criteria, or your partner is not meeting that criteria, we might end up getting our visa refused. Ekuj is saying, can we move to different state after 491 visa grant, and do we need to work in the regional? Ekuj, first of all, it's an obligation. You must remain in that particular state where the 491 nomination has been given to that particular candidate. Do we need to work in regional? Definitely. As I've mentioned earlier, for 491, you must live, work, or even if you want to study, must be in regional. Any chance for 85 points for external auditor for 189? Sahil is saying, see, again, we are expecting an invitation round soon to be happening from the department and from the state. So Sahil, just, you're sitting on good points. So if possible, if you want to increase your points, go ahead and also start submitting applications for 190. Neha Kaushal is saying, electrical engineer with 6.5 years experience, PD currently in Canada on work visa. Any chance? So Neha, in your case, I'll probably advise you, let's go ahead and, get your skill assessment done and your employment assessment done, and then start increasing your points, submitting your EOIs and ROIs for the state. That will be, basically handy. You might, because you are coming up with very nice years, nice amount of work experience. So there are high chances that you will be getting, invitations. Shaka is saying, sir, can we get engineering skill assessment on 3 years diploma of mechanical? Minimum bachelor's is the requirement, for engineering occupations when it comes to professional. Other occupations, again, it must be accredited. Okay, it says a user, someone, and before start of my course, college gets shut down and mere $1200 वापस नहीं दिए गए. I'm not sure what's happened with this. Staff ने मेरे कोर्स नहीं करवाया, उनको ये पता होता है के बावजूद भी वो college. Okay, so I think this was a message done by a TikTok guy. So again, if you are not happy with our staff members, come and visit us. You can visit me personally as well. If you believe that some kind of information which you believe is not best was given to you, we'll try and investigate the matters and see if something can be done about it. Okay, so you can come and visit us. Asad is saying, is graduate diploma give me 1 second, Mike. Okay, is graduate diploma of early childhood option while on TR? See, Asad, it's a good option because if you are that type of a candidate that your occupation is on very high points, I'll probably advise you this can be one of those good options. What about 190 for EN? How many points? 65 points were given to EN. When it comes to Victoria, 190, Sidhu @Aman. So yes, if you have submitted your ROIs and UIs, you might be having invitations coming soon from Victoria, because I think the states are just waiting from the department to, give them the permission to start inviting candidates. Okay, moving forward. Vic White Consulting is saying, hi dear, do you know after completing nursing conversion program 1 year, should there is any exam? I'm not sure what this question is. A conversion program will normally be at least 2 years of study of bachelor's, which does not require any exam for future. Yes, English exam is required to meet the registration requirement with EFRA. Rohit Kesi is saying, and done 3 years of bachelor's in Australia. Graduate diploma is good for PR. Yes. Can I study advanced diploma telecommunication fast track, Sunil? And for that, you must meet an education counselor. Says they have to assess a lot many things on what visa you are sitting on, all those kind of things, what requirement are for the universities and colleges, and then they can advise you accordingly. Akshanaka is saying civil engineer 85 points, no luck. Should I wait or move to Western Australia? See, I might, just wait for one more invitation, because when you start moving to some other states, those states will not consider you as a graduate of Victoria if you're in Victoria. So let's at least wait for 1 or 2 invites before you start discussing about this. Mandeep Virk is saying, hello, sir. What are the chances of carpenter and joiner or 75 points on news? See, this is a good occupation, but more or less we have to still wait, for at least 1 or 2 invitations when we are, discussing about, okay, whether we should, stay in that particular state or not. Okay, Sagar is saying, what's the new criteria rules for chef for 189 and 190? Sagar, we are also waiting for that. I don't know why departments have gone into this big sleep, and they are not giving any updates, and people are eagerly waiting for this new requirements to come upon with. Why department is not processing 189 applications in according to date lodgements? See, again, Gary is saying, we do understand the frustration. We are also the same. Due to the big invitation round given last year, we assume that in the case officers are overwhelmed with too much work. So that's why it's delaying the process. But still, the department is trying their very best, to get the outcome soon. So we are still seeing, that health sector, and teachers, social workers are given the priorities for 189 applications. Gulati Saab is saying 190 processing time for visa for Victoria. I applied visa 2 months ago. Any idea how long? Probably for enrolled nurses, we are expecting 4 months or so. Again, the best would be to go on department's website and, individually search the duration. Okay, Sahil is saying, sir, I've already done my job ready program for Victoria. I have 60 points and got job offer in Tasmania. Should I get? I'll probably say, if you are looking for 190 pathway, Sahil, let's see if Victoria, wakes up and start inviting trade occupations. If not, it's better, we go to some other states, because even last year we've seen Victoria has not invited most of the trade occupations, when it comes to 190. 85 points, Telecom, not in the list for 190. See, again, when it comes to, I'm not sure what, 189 is basically given by the Department of Home Affairs, not by the state. So when it comes to that sort of a category, I'll probably advise that if you can increase your points. If you cannot increase your points, we must have to just wait. Okay, let me quickly check one more thing for you. In regards to Sukhwinder Singh has said 85 points for 189 telecommunication network planner, not in list for 190. I'm not sure why you said that, because it is in list for 190. Maybe you might be focusing on the particular state, Mike Sharma saying, can you please explain the pathway for engineers, managers of offshore candidate and cut off as per past records 10 years? So now there's a pathway that experience is required for those managers to obtain the skill assessment. Once you have obtained the skill assessment, there are high chances for you to getting 190. For 189, the cutoff is going to be very, high points. So I'll probably advise you to go straight PR for straight sponsor, visas. Navjot Singh is saying, I've applied for 408 on 26 June. Haven't heard anything. How long it will take? Any idea? Thank you. Approximate 1 to 2 months. They are pretty quick with 408 at the moment. Sir, 190 for motor mechanic points, which is the good state for it. Sahil, I'll probably say you South Australia is one of those good states for 190. Hitul is saying December invitations are still waiting on grants. Any after? Yes, we are seeing some invitations coming in December. Hitul. So invitation was 35,000. Grants, of course, they're gonna take time. So just let's wait and see how they're gonna go upon with. Any update on 189? So guys, with Now, let me explain you this situation, guys. We have seen that 35,000 candidates were invited in December, November, December. Okay. Now there are so many applications to the department that everybody is asking us why department is taking so long. So department's gonna prioritize the occupations which are regarding to health sector first. Then we are seeing teachers, then we are seeing social workers, and then comes your IT and engineering occupations. Okay, so if you are the type of a candidate which is accountant, external auditor, or other trade occupations, we might have to wait in your situation. We always advise that you make sure, guys, that you submit your, ready to submit application. If you believe your PCC is expiring, your AFP is expiring, just get it done, so that time is not wasted when the case officer is allocated. Okay, we have got Daniel is saying, what are the chances of getting 190 Victoria 85 points? These are good points, Daniel, but it's going to be a lot many other factors. What Victoria is going to picking upon, for example, your salary, you are working in your nominated occupation. So there are other factors as well, which Victoria focuses upon before inviting the candidate for 190. Anku is saying, I applied for subclass 300. It's been 6 months from UK partner PR. See, Anku, we are expecting at least 9 months to, plus for subclass 300. So yes, we might have to wait. Mandeep is saying, I've submitted EUI on 29th June. Do I need to submit new EUI? EUIs are valid for 2 years, Mandeep. So if that's a question specifically leads to, EUI, then you don't need to submit it again. Harry Harpin is saying, sir, I have 1.5 years in Brickling. My 485 visa going to expire. So I want to apply for it. See, Harry, you can apply for 482 visa if you've got 2 years of work experience. Now, the good thing about 482 visa is that 2 years of work experience is required at the time of grant, not at the time of lodgement. More or less, if your visa is going to expire, you can choose some other visa options, which will give you full-time work rights. And if you've got a job, pandemic recovery, COVID visa, basically nowadays people are calling it 408 is one of those options that you can lodge that first, get the 2 years done, and then lodge 482. So 186 direct entry, any update? Experience 2 years or 3 years in future? We see again, at the moment it's saying 3 years. Again, the candidates who are already on 482 might, have a good chance of getting that onto 2 years. So again, just Chahal, if you've got 2 years of work experience, let's go with 482, do your 1 year more and go for 186 direct entry, not the GR. Okay, moving on to more comments, guys. I've got a question for, let me quickly go through. Tony is saying, I've submitted medical and other documents yesterday, requested how long we, once the case officer is allocated, Tony, it doesn't take that much time, for the assessors to make a decision upon, but do give them at least 2 to 3 months, depending upon how basically busy they are with their own, applications. It has already been 57 days. We applied for student combined visa. I didn't get any response yet. See, again, with student visas, it's totally different sort of departments. Do allow them some time. When it comes to a student combined visa application, we are expecting for our particular clients, we have seen some auto grants being happening 1 or 2 days. We have seen applications going on to, 2 to 4 months as well. So that is something that Jitendra Kumar is draft person. I'll probably say, Jitendra, you are discussing about draft person. Yes, try to increase your points because it still comes under engineering sector. So any occupations we are going under engineering sector, try to make more points. Okay. Sir, I'm on 485. Can I call my partner from India without marriage? Navjot Sandhu. Yes, you can. You can text me or WhatsApp me if you're following me on TikTok. Yes, definitely you can. If you are in a genuine and continuing de facto relationship with your partner, yes, you can. Chances of chef at 65 points in Victoria on 189. I've got a funny. This is a funny question because for 189 it's nothing to do with Victoria. 189 are more focusing on invitations given by the department. There might be chances if there's a big round what happened last year or not, so just keep your EUIs handy, guys. Okay, do we have to withdraw RY Victoria that was lodged in April 2023 and resubmit for year 2023 and 24? Wasim Ahmad is asking, Wasim, this information has not been updated by the department yet. So we are expecting that the Victoria state's gonna come upon, and start making changes soon. How soon, we are not sure. We are also waiting eagerly. Hopefully, it seems like there's gonna be a good news for most of the candidates. Okay, because seats are same, and I'll probably say it's gonna be a good sort of an year for international students who have been eagerly waiting for their permanent residency. We've got Vakas is saying, is it okay to apply 491 after invite on student visa while your study is not complete? Yeah, that should be fine. It's totally basically two different applications, different compliance. Make sure if you have submitted your 491 visa applications and you are on a student visa, that does not mean that you can do whatever you want. You should basically try and maintain, the compliance for your student visa. That is, you must be studying until the visa is granted. Guri saying, sir, I completed my study and 2 months student visa left. What are my work rights now on visa left full time? If you've got the completion letter, you can work full time. Go ahead and lodge your 485 visa as well. I've got Core saying, hi, sir, what about disability care 482 or 186? If we have employer right to sponsor, that is, see, again, when it comes to that occupation, we are still expecting for them to, consider this occupation. At the moment, we are seeing only aged care people are given that luxury to go on to 402 with the labor agreement thing. What about for 189 for nursing this year? There are high chances, Susan, there are high chances for nurses always. So high chances doesn't mean that you must be sitting on, lowest point, trying to train more points when it comes to, submitting your EUIs and stuff. Okay. Saying, Ali saying, hi, sir, just a quick question. How I can apply for my sibling on community access based visas? I'm not sure, haven't done it. I'll probably advise you to go and, have a discussion with someone who's expert in that particular visa. We are more focused on, general skill migration, employer sponsors, partner visas, family visas, but not, I'm not sure there's community based visas. Okay, so coming back on to opening the state, when it comes to the state, guys, states are pretty nice. Wherein, department made a big invitation round last year. States have gone pretty nice inviting candidates. If you are a trade occupation candidate, you must make sure, guys, that, you should always keep some kind of a backup. If you are nursing, teaching, social work, that type of a candidate, we know those are good occupations being invited by the department. But if you are some other occupation, especially trade occupations, guys, always keep a backup, because we are not sure whether if Victoria comes up with the same sort of a requirement, we might have to go ahead, and switch our states. If you guys are, watching this session live on, basically Facebook or TikTok, do like and share this. Sir, one agent told me you have to comply on student visa condition if you completed study. So the condition is basically when your course is in progress, Guri. So I hope you understand what I mean. So condition is only when your studies are in effect. So when your studies are not in effect, so I'll give you an example that when there is a break in between your course, you can basically work full time. Okay, when you finish your studies, there should be no issue. So I'm not aware if that particular agent has got a better understanding of the visa conditions. Tony, I think I already answered your questions that we are expecting the departmental officer at least 2 to 3 months, depending upon how much is the workload, to give you an outcome for, 491. Guys, if you're watching me live on TikTok and other social media pages, do like and share this video. It's always good that, we are trying our very best. And thanks to you guys that you are, supporting us a lot with our, live sessions. It's always good to have you guys live and try and answer, your questions face to face. Joseph is saying, what are the states expected to open ROI sooner? See, Joseph, we are also waiting eagerly on to how long they're gonna go on with this, cat and mouse game. Let's just open up the requirements and, start submitting the applications. But again, status will be checked, seats have been allocated. I'll probably say it's going to be a very nice year for international students who have completed their studies. If you are a newly, arrived international student in Australia, I'll advise you have a think about it, that which state is going to help me in future, which state is going to basically give me more points, which states invite more candidates, trade candidates. So yes, again, now we are expecting soon from all the states to open up, but when they're going to open up, we are not sure. Okay, but yes, soon states might be opening up. Deep Puller is saying, hey boss, can you please let me know? I finished my study in 2012 but didn't done PSA. Can I do it now? As long as you have completed your studies, you can go ahead and submit your professional skill assessment. Minimum, again, depending on your occupation, minimum certificate 3 or 4 will be required. So yes, if you have held a student visa, you have completed your studies, you should do go ahead and submit your provisional skill assessment. Guri is saying, sir, after receiving step number 1, job ready, can I take 3 months gap before starting? You can take whatever you want, but it's more or less, remember that when you are starting the JRE, which is step number 2, that is your actual job ready starting, not the eligibility check. Paji, why department granting 189 to people who lodged 2025? Why not 8 to 15 December applicants? I'll probably say, JP, it's not about 20 to 25. It's more or less about occupations. What they are trying to do there is, maybe there might be departments, file being allocated to a department who is more busier than that particular department. So we are seeing occupations, and also we are seeing a lot many 491s are given as well. So again, stay patient. You might be also, getting the good news soon. Okay, which state and how many points would be enough for civil construction draft person? Again, most of the states have invited most of the occupations, but when it comes to Victoria, guys, they have been very specific on community based and health sector sort of an occupation. So if you're in Victoria, I'll probably ask you to double check on that, and hopefully if you are happy to move outside Victoria, I'll probably say South Australia or Western Australia might be one of those states. But again, let's wait for the states to open up and let's see how they're going to react upon. Paji, I launched my 189 system analyst on 10th December. JPS, you might have already heard, business analysts, are getting their visa grant. So you might be getting the grant. Just make sure your medical has not expired, your PCC is there, your AFP is there, and your all other mandatory documents are, ready to go, so that the assessor, does not require any further information. Because it's very frustrating, guys, when the assessor is allocated and, they make this rubbish sort of request, just send me this, send me that. Is very frustrating. Okay, Adil Ismail saying, so I'm a trade person, how many chances air conditioning? See, again, occupation is very nice, Adil. Not many people will go in that particular occupation. Very nice occupation. I'll probably say New South Wales would be more rather than Victoria. Victoria doesn't like, we are discussing about the previous financial year. Victoria does not like to invite trade occupations for 190. So either we can choose New South Wales, or we can choose Western Australia, or we can choose South Australia. Okay, moving forward. What after diploma of community service? Bachelor of community service, if that is your question. Because for diploma of community services, you are not eligible for 485 visa, which is a temporary graduate visa. So you might have to study bachelor's. Okay. If in regards to you're discussing for PR options, if your qualification is accredited, you might go ahead and obtain the skill assessment. Okay, guys. So hopefully, if you guys are watching me live on TikTok, guys, do like and share this video. If you're watching on all other platforms, guys, do like and share again. If you've got any questions, our marketing team are bombarding me with all these questions. I'm trying my very best to answer all these questions. Offshore applicant 80 points for software engineer, which state? I have possibilities. I'll probably say Northern Territory. Go ahead and submit your 491, Joseph. There are high chances. Again, 80 points are very good. We can go with Victoria 190 as well. If you are a skilled candidate, we have seen Victoria inviting people from outside Australia as well for straight PR 190, but they are focusing more on skill. Like 75 points or 80 points. Those are good points, but number of years of work experience we have seen, where they're seeing candidates have 8 years of work experience, 9 years of work experience, giving them straight 190. So that was we are assuming as well, guys, that there might be a slight change in point system, when it comes to skilled employment. So it's going to be, basically good for people who are, focusing on claiming the points for employment. So what are your charges for applying 485 visa, Guri? I'll probably say, you can text me or WhatsApp me, email me, send me a message, and we can discuss the price. Okay. We always advise, guys, when you're lodging your 485 visa, try and have a discussion about your permanent residency as well with the migration agent, because 485 visa is that basically phase of our, residency road, that where we should start focusing on, what are my PR options, because we have seen some people, they'll get their 485 granted from some people, and then after completing their 485, they will come to us that I finished my 485, I could have done this, I could have done that. So if you guys are watching, I'll advise you that 485 visa is one of that visas which I'll highly recommend you have a discussion with your registered migration agent, that what would be the best pathways for my permanent residency, so they can at least assess and make a nice plan for you guys, to for next 1 year or 1.5 years, especially for candidates who are, planning to do a job ready program, because job ready program is mandatory to do the skill assessment unless you've got enough work experience to get the skill assessment straight. So if you are planning to do a job ready program, I'll probably advise you have a discussion with your MARA agent. If you're in Victoria, we have got all other branches all over Victoria. We have got other branches in other states as well. Have a discussion with your MARA agent that what do you think, where should I do my job ready program, especially if you're in Victoria, because we have seen that Victoria has not invited chef or cooks for 190. They have only given us 491 invitations. Okay, so I'll probably say that was a nice session, guys. You guys have given us love and support, especially on TikTok. I've seen, guys have given us a love and support. If you guys have any further questions, you can go ahead and visit our registered migration agents, on all our different branches, have a discussion about your individual cases, have a discussion about the skill assessment process, have a discussion about, what would be the point system. Also have a discussion about, okay, if we are going through a different state process, how long it's going to take, how many points do I require, especially have a discussion about, what would be the best visa pathways. We have always seen candidates, focusing on 189 rather than 190. We must understand that 189 and 190 are both permanent visas. Okay. Yes, 190 comes with obligations that you must be living and working in that particular state for at least 2 years. A big deal, might, if you've already relocated to Australia on permanent basis, just sit there and get your things done. Moreover, hopefully you guys might have enjoyed your live session with me. My name is Kamaljeet Singh. I'm a registered migration agent myself, sitting in Melbourne office in Collins. And if you guys have got any questions, or any kind of discussions to make upon, you can always contact me by contacting our number 0396023435. Aussizz Melbourne, you can just type on Google, and we are more than happy to assist you. In regards to consultation, guys, if you are watching me live right now, you can have a consultation with me as well. We have got other MARA agent as well, so we can go from there. So that was it from our side, guys. Hopefully in coming some weeks, you will have other registered migration agents from Aussizz Group discussing about different topics, educating you more about requirements and situations, and we'll go from there. Okay, until then, that was me, registered migration agent from Aussizz Group. See you guys.